despite being considered the 103rd episode to air, the Kiss Hello actually is credited as the 100th episode created by the Seinfeld cast. I guess that must include some two-parters or whatnot in there, possibly. Not sure. So this was credited for the 100th episode, in which everyone else, except for like the main crew, well, like Jason Alexander, Julie Louis-Dreyfus, Michael Richards, that's when they had read the testing results from back in season 1, when no one thought too high of the show at the time. But of course, they look back on it and laugh and think, well, in your face now, look what we've created for sure. But the Kiss Hello is solid episode, I would say. The story starts off with Jerry and George were hanging out at Jerry's apartment. Jerry gets a call from his Nana saying that she needed help opening up a ketchup bottle. So he said he'd go over to help her. On the way over, they run into Elaine and Elaine's friend Wendy, who her and Jerry are on like a Kiss Hello program thing. Jerry did it one time at a birthday party, but ever since then, she's done it every time, and Jerry absolutely despises it. George, though, meanwhile, was having some issues with his wrist, and Wendy apparently was a physical therapist. So he asked Wendy if she can look at his arm. She's interested in if she can, have him come by her office. To which, of course, Elaine says he can't really do that to someone while they're not working. Of course, then again, Jerry wanted a massage from his masseuse girlfriend who wouldn't give him a massage. Again, I still wasn't a big fan of her. I just didn't see her as a romantic, passionate type woman, in my opinion. That's why I guess I was a little sour about her. But anyways, so of course, Jerry, mentions to Elaine how he's done with the whole Kiss Hello thing. They also talk about how Wendy has like a very old, like 50s style hairdo. But none of them have the guts to say so. But they realize someone who would be the person who would just have such gall to say it, Kramer, could be the one to tell her, your hairdo's bad. Because, again, Kramer has done so before. He's the type, Kramer's all been the person where, you can't say the obvious. Like, he shouldn't, he didn't want him to, he had to be the one to point out that Audrey needed a nose job. He had to also be the one to blab that everybody had seen Jane topless instead of George back at the Hamptons. Like, stuff like that. So they wanted Kramer to do it this time, except for a positive reason for the rest of the crew, to tell her that her hairdo sucks. So, they plan for that to happen. George, meanwhile, starts getting into it with the receptionist at Wendy's office. He had to cancel an appointment because he had to take his mom somewhere. But because he didn't cancel before 24 hours of the appointment, they're giving him a $75 fine that he refused to pay. I know there's literally an episode where he showed up for an appointment, but Wendy said she couldn't make it. She said she had some personal affairs to take care of. In the meantime, she just took a vacation day to go skiing with Elaine. Which, of course, George found out later, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Kramer, though, meanwhile, had this idea where he wanted to put a photo of everyone in the building in the lobby, which was the first time and maybe the only time, or one of the very few times, where we've seen the lobby of Jerry's apartment complex. But put a photo, that way everybody knows everybody's name. Jerry, of course, did not want to give Kramer a photo. Until Kramer snuck a photo of Jerry and posted it. And it was not a good photo of Jerry. Jerry despised it. But when Wendy showed up, obviously they were trying to go Kramer into coming back over when Wendy showed up. Jerry, to avoid getting kissed hello, sticks his head inside in the refrigerator to avoid any contact, which she doesn't do so. She doesn't kiss him hello. Kramer walks in, but instead of insulting the hairstyle, he says he likes the hairstyle. So that plan completely backfired. And in the car afterwards, Wendy was talking to Elaine about Kramer, and she kind of wanted to go out on a date with Kramer. To which Elaine, had nothing to say. Of course, she was disappointed. Meanwhile, though, I skipped over this. When Jerry did go to his Nana's apartment, which he kissed her hello, which he is more than willing to do so, Uncle Leo was there. Now, Nana, of course, is, losing her mind a little bit. She gets confused. She started talking about her old pal, Buddy. But then she said something like, "Hey, Leo, did you ever give your sister the $50 that your father gave you?" And then that's when Jerry starts getting a little bit suspicious. Apparently, 50 years earlier, which I didn't realize. I could think for the longest time that Uncle Leo was Jerry's dad's brother. He's actually Jerry's sister's brother. But Uncle Leo, their dad had won like $1,000. He gave 100 to Uncle Leo and told him he had to give 50 of them to his sister, which is, of course, Helen Seinfeld. Uncle Leo did not. Jerry said something to his mom, and then Morty started going on for days about with how long it's taking him to pay her that money. He should be paying some interest on that as well, which I believe someone calculated. He was trying to figure out what $50 would be worth 53 years later if it was invested in a growth mutual fund, and assuming an 8% annual return, that $50 would be worth $2,954.13. Man, that's a lot. So there's that. But then, of course, because obviously Leo realized that, what everybody was up to, he put Nana into a home to shut her up and keep her quiet. Jerry, of course, went to visit, and he runs into Nana's old pal, Buddy, who tells him the story. So Jerry basically busts Uncle Leo. When did he pay up? I don't know. But anyways, so Kramer does start up the kiss, not the kiss hello thing, the wall with all the photos. And everybody was seeming happy to enjoy it, but of course Jerry was starting to get annoyed with the whole kiss hello stuff. And when he started to, tell people, no, I'm not doing it anymore, people just, shunned him and almost kicked him out of the building. They even, drew, nasty stuff on the photo of him on the wall because he was despised that much. Elaine, meanwhile, had gone skiing again with Wendy when she basically just canceled from work, out of the blue, which, again, George was upset about that because, he never got told, so he said, pay up $75 because she canceled on an appointment, with less than 24 hours. He didn't give her a 24-hour notice. But then Elaine got bitter because after they came back from the ski trip, Wendy didn't drop Elaine off at her door. She dropped her off 3 blocks down because she was afraid of going down the street and having to, turn around and whatnot. She saying it was easier for her. Elaine, meanwhile, the struggle to carry all her ski equipment back to her apartment, and she got a pinched nerve from it. So Elaine and George went there, and when George finds out that Wendy had canceled to go skiing, he thought it was personal affairs, but it was just day off to go skiing, which he was pissed about that. And then they got into a fight with Wendy, and Wendy basically told him to go somewhere else. But then that's when they finally said that they think her hairdo is horrible. And a receptionist actually agreed. And then the last scene in the closing credits was when Jerry was not invited to Kramer's apartment because everybody basically was just hanging out there. But of course, everybody hated Jerry in the building. And apparently, also Wendy had a new hairdo, but we couldn't see it. But that's basically Kiss Hello. Again, solid episode. Not too much really to discuss about it. A fun fact, though, of course, the receptionist was actually played by one of the writers for Seinfeld, Carol Leifer. And of course, when Jason Alexander signed a check to pay for his appointment, he kept writing obscene messages for her during every take just for the fun of it. But and I actually also get this one. Wendy Malick played Wendy. The woman who originally auditioned for Wendy was Brenda Strong, who would later go on in season 7 to play in a few episodes as Elaine's nemesis, Sue Ellen Mischke. We haven't gotten to Sue Ellen Mischke yet. Holy crap. Oh! I forgot to talk about one thing that happened. So when obviously Jerry was upset about the whole about his Nana going into the home and the whole kiss hello thing and the whole thing with the wall downstairs, Jerry basically told Kramer that the kissing thing is off and because there's no more kissing and whatnot. Kramer then for the heck of it just grabbed Jerry and planted a kiss right on Jerry's mouth, and George peeked in and saw it and he was like, I'll leave you to be, basically, and whatnot, which was pretty funny. Forgot to mention that. And that does it. That's the Kiss Hello episode. Again, good, not too much to say. Next one's a pretty good one. I would say probably on this disc, the next episode is probably the best one, and a very well-known one in my opinion. All I can say is, woo, 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 Doorman. We'll see what happens next in the Doorman episode. So guys, what are your thoughts again on the Kiss Hello episode? Make sure you leave your thoughts down in the comments section below. And make sure as always to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. And follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAirboy93. Till then guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you all later. Have a great rest of your night. And peace out, everybody.